your baby didn't make it. I'm so sorry." Zara Williams stared at Dr. Park, her world shattering into a million pieces. No, this couldn't be real. She'd felt her daughter kicked just hours ago during labor, heard her cry for 3 seconds before they rushed her away. "I want to see her." Zara's voice broke. "Miss Williams, I don't think that's wise. I want to see my daughter." Her scream echoed through the hospital room. They brought a tiny bundle. Zara held her baby, cold, still, perfect, and sobbed until she had nothing left. The nurse took her away. Dr. Park gave her pills for the pain, paperwork to sign, condolences that meant nothing. 2 days later, Zara left the hospital empty-handed and broken. Her boyfriend, Dae-hyun, held her as she cried. Sweet, patient Dae-hyun, who ran import-export businesses and never talked about his work. He'd wanted this baby as much as she did. Now they had nothing but grief and a nursery full of unused baby clothes. "We'll try again," he whispered, stroking her hair. "When you're ready, we'll try again." But Zara didn't want another baby. She wanted her baby, the daughter she'd carried for 9 months, the girl she'd already named Lily. 3 months passed in a fog of depression and unanswered questions, until the day everything changed. Zara was at the grocery store when she heard it. A baby crying, the same pitch, the same rhythm, the exact cry she'd heard for 3 seconds in that delivery room. She turned. Dr. Park stood by the produce section, holding a baby girl. A baby with the same dark curls Zara had, the same honey-brown skin, and on her tiny wrist, a birthmark shaped like a crescent moon. The same birthmark Zara had, the one she'd told the nurse to check for. Her daughter was alive. Zara's hands shook as she pulled out her phone, snapping photos from behind a display. Dr. Park cooed at the baby. "Lily," Zara's mind screamed, completely unaware she was being watched. The doctor wore expensive clothes, drove a luxury car, and handled the baby with the casual ease of someone who'd been doing it for months. 3 months. Exactly how long since Zara's dead daughter was born. Zara followed her, watched Dr. Park drive to a beautiful house in Gangnam, saw her carry the baby inside like she was hers, like she hadn't stolen her from a grieving mother. That night, Zara showed Dae-hyun everything. The photos, the birthmark, the timeline. He listened in silence, his expression growing colder with each word. When she finished, he made a single phone call. "Junho, I need information on Dr. Park Min-jung at Seoul Presbyterian Hospital. Everything. Her finances, her family, her secrets. I need it in 2 hours." He hung up, looked at Zara with eyes she'd never seen before. Dark, dangerous, nothing like her sweet boyfriend. "Dae-hyun, who did you just—" "My name is Kwon Dae-hyun. My family controls most of Seoul's underground operations. I didn't tell you because I wanted you to love me for me, not for my power or my money." He took her hands. "But if that doctor stole our daughter, I will use every resource I have to get her back. Do you understand?" Zara should have been scared, should have asked questions about what underground operations meant. Instead, she just said, "Get our baby back." "I will, I promise." 2 hours later, Junho arrived with a file. Dr. Park was drowning in debt, gambling addiction, bad investments, a lifestyle she couldn't afford. She'd been stealing babies from vulnerable mothers and selling them to wealthy families. Lily was her daughter because she'd kept her instead of selling her. "How many?" Zara whispered. "How many babies did she steal?" 7 in the past 2 years, all from single mothers or poor families, women who wouldn't have resources to fight back. Junho's jaw clenched. "She targeted you because you weren't married, didn't have family in Korea, and she thought you were alone. She was wrong." Dae-hyun's voice was ice. "She had no idea who Zara's boyfriend was. Her mistake. Now we make her pay." "We can't just take Lily back." Dae-hyun paced his penthouse, mind working. "If we do, Dr. Park could claim kidnapping. We need legal proof, evidence that holds up in court." "So what do we do?" Zara asked. "We make her confess, on camera. Then we call the police with evidence they can't ignore." He turned to Junho. "Can you get us into her house?" "I can get you into the blue house if you want it, boss." Junho grinned. "Her security system is a joke." The plan was simple. Dae-hyun would pose as a potential buyer, a wealthy man looking to adopt a baby privately. Dr. Park, desperate for money, would show him Lily. Zara would be hidden nearby with a camera, recording everything. Once they had her confession on tape, they'd move. 3 days later, it happened. Dae-hyun sat in Dr. Park's living room, playing the role of a rich businessman perfectly. The doctor smiled, greedy and convinced she'd found her next payday. I have a beautiful baby girl, 3 months old, healthy, perfect. She brought out Lily. Zara, hidden behind a one-way mirror Junho had installed, nearly screamed seeing her daughter in that woman's arms. How much? Dae-hyun asked coldly. For you? 200 million won. And her real parents? Dead. Car accident. Very tragic. The lie rolled off her tongue so easily. All the paperwork is handled. She's legally mine to place. You're lying. Dae-hyun's voice dropped to deadly calm. This baby was stolen from her mother 3 months ago. You declared her dead and kept her for yourself. Her name is Lily Williams Kwan. Dr. Park's face went white. I don't know what you're talking about. The door opened. Zara walked in, tears streaming down her face. That's my daughter. Give her back. Security! Dr. Park screamed, but no one came. Dae-hyun had already taken care of her security. It's over, Dr. Park. Everything is on camera. Your confession, your lies, all of it. Dae-hyun stood, towering over her. You have one chance to do this right. Hand Lily to her mother, and I'll make sure you only spend 20 years in prison instead of life. Zara didn't wait for permission. She crossed the room and took her daughter from Dr. Park's trembling arms. Lily looked up at her, those perfect brown eyes curious and calm. For 3 months, Zara had grieved her death. Now she held warm, living proof that mothers always know. Hi, baby girl. Hi, my sweet Lily. Zara's tears fell onto her daughter's face. Mama's here. Mama's got you now. Lily grabbed Zara's finger and smiled, just smiled like she recognized her, like she'd been waiting for this moment too. Dr. Park collapsed onto the couch. I didn't want to sell her. She was so beautiful. I thought I could be her mother. Give her a better life than her real mother. Zara's voice was steel wrapped in velvet. You declared my baby dead. Do you know what that did to me? I wanted to die. I couldn't sleep, couldn't eat. I buried an empty dream because of your lies. I'm sorry. Sorry doesn't give me back 3 months. 3 months of her life I'll never get back. Zara held Lily closer. Dae-hyun, call the police. But Dae-hyun was already on the phone. Not with police, with his lawyer. We need a legal team at this address. Now. Bring custody paperwork, criminal documentation, and Judge Kim. Tell him Kwon Dae-hyun is calling in his favor. Within an hour, Zara's living room was full of lawyers, police, and a judge who'd known Dae-hyun's family for decades. Dr. Park confessed everything on record. The stolen babies, the forged documents, the families she'd destroyed. Police found evidence of 7 other stolen children. Families would be reunited because of Lily's case. Miss Williams, given the circumstances and Mr. Kwan's testimony, I'm granting you immediate legal custody of your biological daughter. Judge Kim signed papers with a flourish. Dr. Park will be charged with kidnapping, fraud, and child trafficking. You'll never see the outside of a prison again. Dr. Park was led away in handcuffs, still crying. Zara didn't feel sorry for her, not even a little. She's mine, officially mine. Zara looked at Dae-hyun, this man she thought she knew. You did this. You saved her. We saved her. Together. That night, after Lily was asleep in the nursery they'd built 3 months ago, Zara finally asked the question she'd been avoiding. What exactly do you do, Dae-hyun? And don't say import-export. He poured them both wine, took a long breath. My family runs one of Seoul's 3 major organizations. We handle logistics, security, negotiations that happen outside the law. I inherited the business when my father retired. He met her eyes. I'm what people would call a gangster, a criminal, the kind of man your mother probably warned you about. Are you violent? When necessary. To protect my people. To protect what's mine. He touched her face gently. But I've never hurt anyone who didn't deserve it. I have rules. Lines I don't cross. Like hurting children. I'd die first. Children are sacred. Which is why what Dr. Park did, his jaw clenched. If you'd asked me to make her disappear instead of going to police, I would have. Gladly. Zara should have been horrified. Should have grabbed Lily and run. Instead, she thought about how fast Dae-hyun had mobilized resources to find her daughter. How he'd used his power not to hurt, but to help. How he'd promised to get Lily back, and he had. I don't care what you do for a living, Zara said quietly. You saved our daughter. You believed me when I said she was alive. You didn't think I was crazy or grief-stricken. You just acted. Because I love you, both of you. Daehyun pulled her close. And I know we haven't talked about this, but Zara, I want to marry you. Officially make Lily mine, make you mine, build the family we almost lost. You're proposing? Now? Too soon? He actually looked nervous. This powerful man who'd orchestrated a rescue operation was nervous about proposing. Ask me properly and find out. He dropped to one knee right there in the nursery, pulling out a ring he'd apparently been carrying for weeks. Zara Williams, will you marry me? Will you let me be Lily's father and your husband? Will you build this crazy life with me? Zara said yes. Of course she said yes. 2 months later, they married in a private ceremony. Intimate, beautiful, perfect. Lily was the flower girl at 4 months old, carried down the aisle by Junho, who'd become her favorite uncle. Daehyun's family was intense. His mother was elegant and terrifying. His father retired but still commanding. They'd been skeptical of Zara at first, an American woman with no connections, a baby from a previous situation. But when they saw how Daehyun looked at her, how Lily lit up around him, they softened. You make my son human, his mother told Zara at the reception. He was cold before you. All business, no heart. Now he leaves work early to read bedtime stories. You did that. Lily did that. You both did. She squeezed Zara's hand. Welcome to the family. We protect our own. Always. The honeymoon was delayed because Lily was too young to travel far, but Daehyun rented a private beach house in Jeju Island. 3 days of ocean, family time, and learning how to be a wife to a man whose phone rang constantly with business. I'm trying to retire from active management, Daehyun explained one night as they watched the sunset. Junho can handle operations. I want to focus on legitimate businesses, on being a father, on this. He gestured at Lily playing in the sand with her toys, at Zara beside him, at the life they'd built. You'd really walk away from all that power? I'd walk away from everything for you two. You're my power now, my purpose. He kissed her softly. I spent 30 years being Kwon Daehyun, the boss everyone feared. Now I just want to be Daehyun, Lily's dad and your husband. What if your world doesn't let you walk away? Then I'll make it let me. I'm done with violence and secrets. I want normal, boring, safe. He picked up Lily, who squealed with joy. I want this every day for the rest of my life. Zara believed him, saw the man he was becoming, and she fell in love with him all over again. Life became beautifully ordinary. Daehyun worked from home most days, handling his transition to retirement while being completely obsessed with Lily. He changed diapers, did midnight feedings, and had an entire camera roll full of baby photos. You're worse than a first-time mom, Zara teased, watching him take his 100th photo of Lily sleeping. She's perfect. I need documentation of her perfection. He was completely serious. Zara had started an online business, handmade baby clothes that became surprisingly popular. She worked from home, built her dream while being present for her daughter. The life she'd thought ended when Dr. Park lied had become better than she'd imagined. Dr. Park was sentenced to 30 years, no parole. The other 6 stolen babies were reunited with their families. The case made national news. Doctor's baby trafficking ring exposed by Mafia boss's girlfriend. Zara became accidentally famous, doing interviews about maternal instinct and never giving up. How did you know your baby was alive? Reporters asked. A mother always knows. Something in my soul refused to believe she was dead. And I was right. Other mothers reached out, women with similar stories, babies declared dead but bodies never found. Zara helped where she could, using Daehyun's resources to investigate. They found 3 more stolen babies. Reunited 3 more families. You're a hero, Daehyun told her one night. I'm just a mom who got lucky. Lucky I had you. Lucky I trusted my instincts. Lucky I didn't give up. Not luck, love. You loved her so much you refused to accept her death. That's not luck, baby. That's a mother's superpower. Lily started crawling, then babbling. Her first word was mama, and Zara cried. Her second word was dada, and Dae-hyun recorded it 17 times to show everyone he knew. They were happy, genuinely, completely happy. But happiness has a cost in Dae-hyun's world. The call came at 3 a.m. Dae-hyun's old business partner, a man named Han who'd wanted Dae-hyun to stay in the organization, had been arrested, and he was threatening to expose Dae-hyun's entire operation unless he helped. "I'm retired, I told you that." Dae-hyun's voice was ice on the phone. "Retired men don't get to keep their secrets. Help me, or I'll make sure your wife knows everything. Every deal, every death, every dirty thing you've ever done. Think she'll still love you then?" The line went dead. Dae-hyun sat in the dark, head in his hands. Zara found him there an hour later. "What's wrong?" "Han is going to tell you things about my past, things I've done to protect my territory, my family, my position." His voice shook. "I've tried to be better, but I can't erase who I was." "Then tell me yourself, right now, all of it." Zara sat beside him. "I'd rather hear it from you than from someone trying to hurt us." So he told her. Every ugly truth. The violence he'd ordered. The people who'd disappeared on his command. The money he'd made from illegal operations. The man he'd been before Lily, before her. Cold, ruthless, feared. Zara listened to all of it. When he finished, she was quiet for a long time. "Are you still that man?" she finally asked. "No. God, no. I can't even recognize him anymore." "Do you plan to go back to that life?" "Never. I meant what I said. I'm done." "Then I don't care about who you were. I care about who you are now, who you're choosing to be." She took his hand. "We all have pasts, Dae-hyun. Mine just doesn't involve organized crime. But if you're walking away from that world, if you're choosing our family over that power, then your past is just that. Past. You're not leaving." "Where would I go? You're my husband, Lily's father, my partner." She kissed him softly. "I knew who you were when I married you. Maybe not the details, but I knew you were dangerous. And I chose you anyway." "What about Han?" "Let him talk. Let him expose whatever he wants. We'll deal with it together." But Han never got the chance. Dae-hyun's father, retired but still powerful, paid Han a visit in jail. Whatever was said, Han withdrew his threats, took his sentence quietly, never spoke Dae-hyun's name again. "What did you do?" Dae-hyun asked his father. "Reminded him that retirement doesn't mean powerless, that my son is protected, that family is everything." The old man smiled. "Now go home to your wife and daughter. Live the life I never could. Be better than I was." Lily turned one with a party that was somehow both intimate and extravagant. Dae-hyun had invited everyone, their small circle of friends, his family, Zara's mother who'd flown in from America, even Junho and his new girlfriend. Zara watched her daughter smash cake into her face, watched Dae-hyun laugh and take 1,000 photos, watched this beautiful life they'd built from ashes. "I can't believe it's been a year since—" Zara couldn't finish. A year since she'd held her dead baby, since her world ended and restarted. "A year since we got her back," Dae-hyun corrected, "since we became a family, since everything changed." That night, after Lily was asleep and guests had gone home, they stood in the nursery watching her breathe. This miracle baby who'd survived being stolen. This daughter who'd brought them together and changed everything. "I'm pregnant," Zara whispered. Dae-hyun froze. "What?" 8 weeks. I found out yesterday. Wanted to wait until after Lily's birthday to tell you." She turned to him. "We're having another baby." His eyes filled with tears. This powerful man who'd commanded criminal empires cried at the thought of another child. "Another baby. Another chance to get it right from the start. Are you happy?" "I'm terrified. What if something goes wrong? What if—" "Then we handle it. Together. Like we've handled everything else." Zara took his hands. "Dr. Park is in prison. We have a new doctor. A good one. And this time I'm not alone. I have you. You'll always have me. Both of you. All 3 of you now." He placed his hand on her still flat stomach. "I promise." They stood there watching Lily sleep, thinking about the baby to come. A family built from tragedy, strengthened by love, protected by a man who'd walked away from darkness to hold the light. "Thank you," Dae-hyun whispered. "For what?" "For trusting your instincts, for not giving up on Lily, for giving me a reason to be better. For this life, he kissed her softly, for choosing me, even knowing what I am. What you were, Zara corrected. Now you're just Daehyun, Lily's dad, my husband, soon to be father of two. That's all that matters. And it was. The past, his violence, her grief, the doctor who'd tried to steal their daughter, was behind them. Ahead was just life, beautiful, normal, slightly chaotic life, with babies and bedtime stories, and a love that had survived the worst. Dr. Park had tried to destroy them. Instead, she'd given them proof that some bonds can't be broken, that a mother's instinct is never wrong, that love, real, fierce, unconditional love, always wins. Lily's going to be a big sister, Daehyun whispered, still in awe. And you're going to be outnumbered, Zara teased. Best fate I could ask for. They left the nursery hand in hand, ready for whatever came next. Because together, him, her, Lily, and the baby to come, they could survive anything, even stolen children and Mafia pass, even the impossible, even the beautiful chaos of happily ever after. The moral lesson of this story is that a mother's instinct is powerful. Never doubt it. Trust your gut when something feels wrong. And true love isn't about perfect people. It's about imperfect people choosing to be better for each other.